This is the afternoon weather briefing. This is for Tuesday, the 15th of July. This is James Spann. Alabama's weather, hot and humid. Hey, what do you expect? It's July here. Got a few spotty showers down in southeast Alabama. And, of course, the focus of this discussion will be on the Gulf Coast. A lot of folks with a beach trip want to know what's going on down there. There's a lot of good information, a lot of bad information floating around the socials, so we'll try and cut through all the noise. Let's begin with a radar, and the first radar we're looking at today is actually coming out of Jacksonville, Florida, where you can see the spin of that surface low that's coming in between Daytona Beach and Jacksonville around St. Augustine. And it looks like the Jacksonville radar was actually down for a while this morning, but it's back. And one thing to point out, understand that surface low is coming in at St. Augustine. And you can see for Jacksonville, mostly no rain at all. Daytona Beach, it's a beautiful day. The bulk of the rain is off to the west of the surface low, over toward areas north of Tampa Bay, north of St. Petersburg and Clearwater Beach. Ocala getting rain, Gainesville getting some rain. And understand, with a broad surface low like this, it's just not a big, massive rain. Sure, there's going to be some spots of heavy rain, but understand, even with a surface low nearby, that doesn't mean it's just going to rain all day, and that's certainly not been the case in Florida. But while the radar is up, let's go to southeast Alabama, and again, you can see a few spotty showers and thunderstorms down through parts of Henry, Barber, Houston, Coffee, Dale, and Geneva counties, southeast Alabama. And again, following that circulation today, they're moving to the southwest, which is not that unusual for summertime. The rest of the state really is fairly dry. We'll take a peek at the big picture, and again, you can see I got one small shower that's up in Lawrence County between Moulton and Town Creek, and that's about it for the northern half of the state. Let's go down south to the Gulf Coast, and we do note that we have a thunderstorm in progress around Panama City Beach. And again, that's part of the circulation wrapping around that broad surface low. And again, keep in mind, following the circulation, storms are going to be moving today from northeast to southwest. And again, those will be moving offshore soon. So, sure, from time to time, you'll have a passing storm on the Gulf Coast. You've got that chance every day this summer, but we'll talk specifically about the tropical wave here in just a second. First off, the big picture, upper air look. That's summertime. Winds aloft here, light and variable. Check the visible satellite view. And for most of the state, it's a sunny, hot day. And again, you can see those little pockets of convection down in the southeastern corner of the state. Down around Dothan, Abbeville, Headland, Geneva, Ozark. And again, the cluster of thunderstorms near Panama City Beach. And again, moving from northeast to southwest. Mostly low 90s. And hey, that's what we expect this time of the year. That's exactly average for mid-July. But however, look at Dothan. Now, come on now, 99. And with thunderstorms now, that number probably is much lower than that. But most locations low in mid-90s this afternoon. So you've got some places with a heat advisory tomorrow, and understand you go from the orange county to the white county, you won't notice any difference. Everybody will be hot and humid. That's a Weather Service criteria thing where they believe the heat index, which is the way it feels because of the heat and the humidity, could hit 105. But tomorrow's just going to be like today, hot, humid, all across the deep south. And around the nation, we've got a few areas with flash flood watches, one for central Florida because of the tropical low. One over southeast Louisiana because of the tropical low. One over parts of the middle Atlantic coast region. Other than that, things are pretty quiet. Severe weather outlook through tonight. Got an enhanced risk over Nebraska. The broader risk running from the mountains of Utah to the western Great Lakes. Tomorrow, pretty much the same zone there, from near Denver all the way over to Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. Chance of strong to severe storms. And then on day 3, which is Thursday, a marginal risk of severe storms from Ohio into parts of northern New England. Here's a look at rain for the next 7 days. Rain about 1/2 to 1 inch for the northern half of the state, heavier amounts to the south. And again, we stress, if you're going to the Gulf Coast, sure, you're going to have a day with elevated showers and storms, and this is 7-day totals. We might see a few spots near 4 inches over southern Mobile and Baldwin counties. But again, for most spots in South Alabama, 1 to 2 inches over the next 7 days. So let's discuss the tropics. We've got the orange X on the board near St. Augustine. And other than that, that's it. It is very quiet. Across the Caribbean and the deep tropics, and the hurricane center continuing with a 40% chance of this becoming a depression or a tropical storm. Again, this is the probabilistic outlook over the next 7 days. Check the satellite view today. Again, you can see the swirl north of Daytona Beach. That's the center of circulation. And again, notice in many quadrants of that surface low, it's a sunny day. There's no rain at all. But for some, we've got pockets of convection. Let's go to the probabilistic outlook coming off the European global. This is the probability of tropical depression formation, and it's up there at 90 to 100%. However, if you look at the probability of tropical storm formation, it's negligible. You got a couple of pockets at 10%, and that's it. And again, this thing's just going to be a rainmaker as it moves along. So this is the ATCF set. And remember, the lines you see on this map, that doesn't mean that's where the heaviest rain will be. And really, there's kind of a split camp here. You got about half the members of the ensemble kind of curving up inland into Alabama. You got half the ensemble members going into Louisiana. And again, I stress, these maps with a broad, disorganized surface low can be misleading. In that you'll have pockets of heavy rain, sometimes not even remotely close to the center of circulation. And under the center of circulation, it can be bright and sunny sometimes. But again, just a broad, messy, tropical low coming across the northern Gulf and gradually shifting inland. This is the wind guidance off the ATCF set. And you can see almost every member keeps it below tropical storm strength. You got one outlier, actually two, that bring it up to a tropical storm, but most of the members just leave it as a messy, broad low, a tropical depression, if you will. Of course, the question is, will it get a name? The first three named systems have been weak, short-lived, and if this one gets a name, this will be another weak, short-lived system. But again, I just, one way or the other, the impact's going to be the same. And quite frankly, the main impact is going to be a couple of days with a high chance of rip currents on the Gulf Coast, and that would be Thursday and Friday. So again, if you're headed down to the beach, have a good time. Even on the days where the rain is elevated, it's not going to rain all day, and the sun's going to be out at times. But just remember, on Thursday and Friday, there's a high rip current risk. So be aware of those flags, and if there are double red flags, just don't get in the water. And this thing is moving along. It's not stationary, and by the time the weekend gets here, it'll be out of the way, and the surf conditions will improve a good bit. So again, just understand that there could be, for any given spot there, Gulf Shores, Destin, Panama City Beach, you're going to have a day or two, whether it's Thursday or Friday, where you will have a greater than average coverage of showers and storms. But even on that day, it's not going to rain all day, and I think the sun breaks out. So I would not let this stop you at all from going to the Gulf Coast. So let's go through modeling the global models. This is the GFS model, fans. The 12Z run valid tomorrow at 4. Again, a flat ridge, and really the weather's just not that different. We'll have a few pop-up storms. The better chance probably south and southeast Alabama, highs mid-90s, much like today. We'll check the high-resolution HER. This is valid tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock. And as always, we stress the radar will not look exactly like this, but something like that. And again, look on the Gulf Coast, and you can see this. You got a couple of pockets of storms potentially there, but certainly it's just not this big, widespread, massive rain. And for the northern half of the state, only isolated showers. So this is Thursday. And again, that broad low is moving westward, and that could be the one day with the higher coverage of showers and storms for a decent chunk of the central Gulf Coast. Again, we stress, not raining all day. The sun breaks out at times, but occasionally it will rain. The better chance of scattered storms on Thursday over the southern half of the state. And then Friday, probably an enhanced chance maybe statewide, but notice the panhandle looking pretty good. Really, by Friday, it looks like the bulk of the showers and storms with the surface low, it's moving on to the west. Highs dropping in the low 90s. And for the weekend, just classic old summertime weather. This is Saturday and this is Sunday. The sun out at times, highs low 90s, a few scattered showers and storms, most of them during the afternoon and evening hours. And Monday, same thing. Let's go to a week from today. This is Tuesday the 22nd. Got a little 594 circle on top of us. That's a ridge beginning to rebuild. And so toward the middle of next week, heat levels probably creep up. Coverage of showers and storms go down. Highs go back in the middle 90s. Let's go out 10 days. This is Friday of next week, July 25th, 594 ridge in place across the deep south. And again, just old hot summertime dog day weather, late July weather, mid-90s, a few isolated storms. Rain for the next 15 days, the mean between 1 and 1.5 inches. That's the green line on that chart, and this is coming off the European AI run. Temperatures Just what you expect in July. Low to mid 90s. Lows mostly in the low to mid 70s. And just in, latest long range guidance, July 23rd, July 29th. Temperatures above average with the ridge in place. Got to roll some Children's of Alabama Kid Cam. Dothan, Alabama. Had a great time today at Northridge Methodist Academy. There's summer camp. A lot of kids there. And hey, you can learn a little science in the summertime. You sure can. We talked about thunderstorms and much more. Ooh, look at those cake pops. They look good. They tasted good. I must admit I sampled one. But yeah, did some storm spotting. Talked about how we forecast the weather and staying safe. Really, really fun crowd today. Those kids were just great. So again, to all these great students at Northside Methodist Academy, their summer camp in Dothan, the Wiregrass. Thanks a lot for a great visit earlier today. You guys are looking great. All right, back to the radar here. We're live at 3:33. And you can see for Panama City Beach, Cape San Blas, Port St. Joe, Indian Pass. We've got this cluster of storms moving from the northeast to the southwest. So there's thunderstorms there. The rest of the Gulf Coast looks great today. Areas west of there. Destin, Panama City Beach, Navarre, Fort Walton, Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, Fort Morgan. Beautiful day. But again, we've got that cluster of storms that is located really now mainly offshore, although you can see that really heavy rain falling right at Panama City Beach. And thunder, lightning, but you go a few miles one way or the other and it's not raining at all. That's the way it goes. Well, check southeast Alabama again. And again, in Alabama, this is basically where most of the showers are today, the southeastern part of the state. We've got the showers in progress from Barber County, south of Eufaula, down through Henry County, Abbeville, Headland, right on top of Dothan. Dothan had a pretty good thunderstorm about 30 minutes ago. Showers in progress in parts of Dale, Coffee, Geneva counties. And again, moving from northeast to southwest. The rest of the state is relatively dry. And again, we'll check the Jacksonville radar. And again, with this, you can see the actual circulation center of that broad tropical low that's near St. Augustine. This is between Daytona Beach and Jacksonville. And again, for several quadrants of this surface low, there's just not much going on, but you've got that one pocket of heavier rain down toward Gainesville, which is on the southwest sector of that surface low. And again, we'll watch that carefully. And if you're just joining us, you can backtrack and see the deal, but there's a 40% chance a depression forms in the northern Gulf. This will mainly be a rainmaker, and you'll have a day or two with elevated coverage of showers and storms, especially Thursday, I think, for the central Gulf Coast. But even on Thursday, it's not going to rain all day, and I think the sun's going to be out at times. And really and truly, the greatest concern, it's going to be the a couple of days with a high danger of rip currents, and those days would be Thursday and Friday on the central Gulf Coast. So again, if you're beach bound, go have a great time. And this thing will be fully west of there by Friday and the weekend, most likely. And just enjoy yourself. It's summertime. Everybody needs a vacation. I always say that. This is no dangerous hurricane. This won't be some strong tropical storm. It's mainly just a rainmaker. And even at that, on the days with the elevated rain coverage, it's certainly not going to rain all day. But just watch out for those double red flags. If they're flying, do not get in. So that'll wrap it up today. Tomorrow, going to be in Trustful. Noah's Park weekday early education, the little ones. Got a 3-for-1 special on Thursday. Camp Journey, that's a great program that is put on by the Shelby County Sheriff's Department. I'm going to be at Pelham Park Middle School for that, and then I'll be at the Pelham Senior Center for a program there, and then a Camp Legacy program. It's a similar program put on by the Hoover Police. That'll be at Berry Middle School Thursday, and then Friday going to be in Montevallo at the Parnell Memorial Library for a program there. That'll be at 10 o'clock. And then, hey, we got a book signing on Saturday, and we are going to be in Florence. Indeed, Turbo Coffee. Love coming to Turbo Coffee. We have been there before. We're going to be there Saturday between 10:30 and 1:30. And we're going to have a great time. We have all the shirts for weather dweebs, geeks, nerds, dorks, and weenies. We've got the children's books, and those are great for kids that love weather, maybe a little afraid of weather. We've got a new one called Who Wants to Be a Meteorologist for a child that might want to do this for a living one day. Little book I read in first grade started me on the journey. We've got All You Can Do Is Pray, the book about April 27, 2011, Weathering Life, My Story, and much more. So again, Florence, Turbo Coffee, Saturday between 10:30 and 1:30. And of course, we invite you to watch us on ABC 3340 News this evening. Thanks for watching. Have a marvelous evening, and God bless.